We've been on this path for multiple years now in preparing not only for our CTP, but also for our referendum in November. And this board has continued those efforts and coming on board last year with hopes to be able to provide some very clear direction to DOT with where we would like to see things go for November. And so it's interesting to get the results back, which I think still puts the ball squarely back in the court of the commissioners. And I appreciate your response to Commissioner Gamble that this is still a BOC policy decision. And just even seeing the outcome of the surveys, it just makes it very clear that we need to make that decision. And we need to make that decision fairly soon. As was discussed, I believe, in our meeting yesterday, that we will need to put forward a list of projects for consideration for the Atlanta Regional Transportation Plan. And those projects will be pulled from our CTP. And so as that moves forward, we need to be very clear on where we see our board going in November, just due to the timeline that's before us. I can share with you, and I'll be very clear in sharing that I believe that not only this board, but the county should seize this moment to finally make serious and robust investment in transit that we have had opportunity to do for decades through the initiation of MARTA, and which we have contemplated up until this very moment without ever making serious investment in this arena. I know even in the contemplation of our 2022 MSPLOST program, there were not any transit items put in there because it was presumed that we would put those in whatever referendum that we put forward this year, as there was a leaning that we would make the decision to see this move forward for the county this year. And moving transportation forward for this year, we've been giving two options of 170 and 930. And throughout the discussions that I've had with commissioners and with our mayors initially, there was concern that putting both of these measures on the ballot would cause some confusion for voters. And if we did it to the max, it would certainly, or to the max expenditure allowed, which is 1 cent per program, that it could deter some voters by putting our sales tax to 8 cents. So last year, in discussions about midway through the year with commissioners, there was general desire to lean towards 930. And that was echoed in my conversations with mayors at that time, simply to reduce the confusion and also to ensure that we were not duplicating our efforts as we just proposed transportation-oriented projects in the 2022 MSPLOST. We would be coming back essentially 2 years after that and putting forward projects that could have been put on that list. I strongly support us going down that path of focusing on 930 for November. We have, again, opportunity to do what this county has not done and seize the moment where not only do we have commissioners supportive of putting a transit referendum on the ballot, but we have a very friendly presidential administration, which has led in investing in our nation's infrastructure, which means that we can pull down an unprecedented amount of dollars towards transit should Cobb County take advantage of this moment. Cobb County taking advantage of this moment also reflects the moment that's here in our state. We have some significant elections that are occurring where people will be out at the polls. So this is not like other MSPLOST, for instance, our education MSPLOST during an off-presidential election year, where you don't know what that turnout's going to be. It's highly likely that we will have a strong turnout among residents to vote on this measure, which helps to ensure that that what is decided is more reflective of the general population versus it being held in a different year. I think we take advantage of this moment to probably have one of the lowest sales taxes rates in the metro region and have robust investment in transit. I can't perceive any other area in the metro Atlanta region that has a 7-cent sales tax with a penny investment in transit. So we can lead in that respect. If we do this, our only main competitor for transit dollars in the state would be the system of MARTA. And so for us to be, another player in that arena just, again, helps us to be competitive. 930 helps us to be more competitive than 170 because with the commitment of investment of dollars to the tune of what we could collect makes us a more viable contender than if we were to just pull down funds from 170. I think if we go towards 930, there's no telling what some of the other challenges may be. We know we're in a pandemic. We know that inflation is high. But I tell you, commissioners, if we don't do it now, when do we do it? I have never seen a board more willing to do this than any board that I've served with over the past 9 years. And I would say that the transportation community looks at this board as being the most ripe for supporting something like this than any other board that has served in Cobb County. So if you do not help to move this forward, who will do it besides you? I had that same conversation with our transit advisory board last night, and they sent us some comments with respect to us moving forward and looking at how we can augment our CTP to be more flexible and reflective of the public. So again, the ball is in our court. I think momentum is in our court. And I hope that we take advantage of this moment and the very unique opportunity that we have to finally bring some transformation to Cobb County. And I'm putting my eggs in that basket that we at least try in November. If we try and fail, you always can get another bite at the apple. But if we do not try, we will have missed the exigence of this moment. Those are my comments, Drew.